Today's sponsored merch is Go Fart Clothing. That's right. Pop your collar with me, spend $1 with me. Let's go! We right back down to 8 with it. You know what I'm saying? Told y'all stories about my man Bryd. This part 6, right? We down to 8 with it. You know what I mean? This the great ones. Let's go. This story I get into today. That's right. We back down to 8 with it. With my man Bryd, a.k.a. Business. I gave y'all part 1 through 5 with my man Bryd. All my new subscribers, new viewers, go back and check it out. This where we left off at, right? I was telling y'all the story, you know what I mean, how I met him or whatever, how we got money together, how we went to jail, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So now, this is a story I can get into right now, you know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, my man Bryd, you know what I'm saying, he was something like a pimp. You feel me? He had, everywhere we went, females clinging to him, right? So this is a story I was telling you how we was met the bitches up in the county or whatever, wherever we at, you know what I'm saying? My man like exotic bitches, like, you know what I'm saying? They're foreign. Like you got to be another race or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So this is the time we had the white bitches or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I was telling you, shout out to my homie Mag, you know what I mean? Mag was thorough as shit, you feel me? But Mag had a little squad or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Up in the county or whatever. So Mag was introducing us to some of her girlfriends, though. Now, Mag was Bryd little, you know what I mean? Jump off his little chick or whatever, but Bryd was hitting, you know what I mean? Not to put him out there or whatever, but that's my guy. You feel me? And I was rocking with him, you know what I'm saying? Enjoying the fruits of the labor. You feel me? But this story I get into, you feel me, is like, like I said, Mag had homies or whatever. And some of them was nice, you feel me? Bryd hit a couple of homies and all that. But this a particular time, Bryd was, you know what I mean, he was out west or whatever. Shout out my man Doug. Rest in peace, my man Aaron, you know what I'm saying? Doug, brother, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to them niggas, you know what I'm saying? Real rap, you know what I mean? Aaron, rest in peace. Niggas ain't forget about you. Hold your head up, you feel me? To his family, hold their head up, you know what I mean? I know how I feel to lose somebody, you know what I mean, that you love. But back to the story or whatever, they had a crib. This was like on, what's that, like 40th and Gerard, close to that, like 41st and Gerard. They had Doug and them peoples that had a crib. But that joint was big as shit. It was like a rooming crib or whatever. Like, but everybody we knew that was sterile that lived in the joint or whatever. You know what I'm saying? How it was lined up or whatever. That shit was big as shit. We used to call it a frat house. You know what I'm saying? And we had chicks running in and out that joint. My man Aaron lived on the first floor. He had this little, you know what I mean, chick he was fucking with down there. They had the first floor on Smash. You know what I mean? I think somebody was on the second floor. And Bryd had another chick that he used to fuck with, and she was black, though, you know what I mean? I forgot her name or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But, and I know her name, but I ain't gonna put it out there or whatever, you know what I'm saying? He had her in there, too, and, you know what I'm saying? He had a room, I think he was on the third floor or whatever. He had the whole third floor or whatever, you know what I'm saying? There was a couple rooms up there on the third floor or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it was like a frat house, and like I said, we had to work in. So Bryd had the motion coming to the crib. But this one particular night, you know what I'm saying, Mag had came down, whatever. We knew all her other friends and shit, but this was like some chick we ain't know. I think this chick was like a cop. Well, no, matter of fact, she was a probation officer or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? But she was still on her twist, like, you know what I mean? Doing her, like, you know what I mean? Pills, whatever they did. The white bitch, they like drugs. Pills and shit like that. So, or whatever, like this night, you know what I mean? We had motion, though, but we ain't had no, it was on a late night they come through. We couldn't find no pills, anties, none of that shit. So, we, like I said, my man Bryd rolling at this time, so we only got solved. We only got work, you know what I mean? We never snorted a day in our life, right? And we wanted to have fun with the bitches, so we just thought of the plan like, damn, all right. So, we had all solved, right? We like, all right, cool. We can't find nothing. We riding around the whole city trying to find shit. West Philly, North Philly, you know what I'm saying? So me and Bryd come up with the plan like, fuck it, you know what I mean? We got soft at the crib or whatever, you know what I mean? So me and Bryd, we got the bitches in the back. It's like 4 of them, you know what I mean? It's only me and him, right? And they bad, you know what I mean? So we kicking it. We got Doug and them in there or whatever. So, you know what I mean? However that shit went, we wound up passing them off, though. You know what I mean? We act like we was snorting the coke and shit. And we start putting that shit up their nose. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Bryd. You know what I'm saying? Part 6. Let's go!